Yeah, you laughing at this.
Then you're not worried at all.
I know why.
Because you don't got nothing.
I don't have it.
All right.
Everyone is talking about Diddy, but why did the entire industry go silent the moment 50 Cent mentioned Jay-Z? The documentary that Hollywood tried to stop is finally revealing the truth. Today, we expose the secret meetings and the silence that followed.
Right? How do you think people view Puffy right now with everything coming up?
Well,
50 Cent didn't just take a shot at Jay-Z. He publicly signaled he's ready to expose him in a documentary, and he made it clear this won't stop with Diddy. And the timing isn't random, because this didn't begin with Jay-Z. It began with pressure building around Diddy. Multiple lawsuits, serious allegations, a sudden shift in public perception. One of the biggest turning points came when Cassie filed a lawsuit that was settled almost immediately. That detail alone triggered industry-wide attention. Fast settlements like that don't happen in a vacuum. They usually signal something deeper: legal strategy, risk management, or pressure behind the scenes. Then more reports surfaced. More claims, more scrutiny, more attention from major outlets. And right in the middle of that, 50 Cent stepped in. Not cautiously, not quietly, but also not directly. He started posting again. Jokes, reactions, subtle shots. But underneath all of it, one idea kept repeating. People knew. That phrase changed the framing, because once you introduce that idea, the story stops being about one individual. It expands. Now it's about the environment around them. And that's where things begin to shift. Because the tension between 50 Cent and Jay-Z isn't new. It's been there for years.
I thought the smartest thing Jay said in the statement was, if you really believe this happened, then press criminal charges.
But it stayed controlled. Background noise, occasional comments, competitive energy that never fully exploded. Jay-Z largely dismissed it, downplayed it, positioned it as irrelevant. And for a long time, that worked. But now the tone is different. 50 isn't presenting this as rivalry anymore. He's reframing it, not as competition, but as a question of image. Because the argument he keeps returning to isn't about music, it's about transformation. Jay-Z didn't just grow over time, he shifted identity, from street rapper to businessman to global symbol of success, a complete evolution. And according to 50, that evolution didn't just change perception, it changed positioning. Because once someone is viewed differently, they're treated differently. And that's why tension starts to build, because image becomes leverage, and leverage influences outcomes. So what happens when that image gets questioned? That's exactly where this story turns. Because 50 isn't making direct claims, he's doing something more effective. He's introducing doubt. He's pointing at the gap between perception and reality. And once that gap exists,
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't.
People start looking closer at everything, especially connections, which is why Diddy keeps reappearing in the conversation. To be clear, there are no confirmed claims tying Jay-Z to Diddy's legal situation, but that hasn't slowed anything down. Because this isn't about confirmed facts, it's about proximity. Decades in the same industry, shared spaces, overlapping circles. At that level, proximity becomes part of the narrative. And when one name is under intense scrutiny, anyone connected to that orbit gets pulled into the spotlight. Not because of proof, but because of association. And association raises questions. Questions that don't need answers to spread. They just need attention. And that's exactly what's happening. Because instead of separating those names, 50 keeps placing them side by side, again and again. Not accusing, but not distancing either. And that subtle positioning changes perception. Because now the conversation shifts from what happened to who might have known. And that's a much harder question to dismiss, especially when people start looking backward.
because once attention locks in, history gets re-examined. Jay-Z's past legal issues resurface. His 1999 case gets mentioned again. Business disputes, ownership conflicts, moments that once stood alone now get grouped together, viewed through a different lens, reinterpreted as part of something larger. At the time, those events didn't define the narrative, but now they're being revisited under pressure. And whether that creates truth or not, it creates perception, and perception moves fast. But this doesn't feel completely organic. There's structure behind it, because 50 Cent isn't just reacting, he's building something. He's already established himself in the documentary space, Crime stories, industry breakdowns, narratives that reframe how people see familiar figures. So when he signals that something bigger is coming, people pay attention. Not because they instantly believe it, but because they've seen how these stories unfold. And that creates anticipation. And anticipation creates pressure, which leads to a split reaction. Some people start watching more closely, looking for patterns, connecting dots. Others push back. They argue this is strategy, that 50 is doing what he's always done.
Using controversy to generate attention. And that argument isn't wrong, but it misses one key detail: timing. Because this isn't happening in isolation. It's happening during a moment when the entire industry is under scrutiny. Conversations about power, control, silence, they're louder than they've been in years. And that context changes everything, because now even small actions carry weight. A joke feels like a signal. A post feels like a hint. And silence feels intentional. Which brings everything back to one central idea: control. Control over image, control over narrative, control over what people believe. For a long time, that control looked stable, defined, untouchable. But now it's being tested, not through direct confrontation, but through suggestion, through repetition, through carefully placed doubt. And that kind of shift doesn't happen instantly. It builds, slowly, layer by layer, until the narrative starts moving on its own. And once it starts moving, it's very difficult to stop, because now people aren't just watching for facts.
They're watching for confirmation. Every clip, every resurfaced moment, every reaction, or lack of one, becomes part of the story. And this is exactly where 50 operates best. He doesn't need to prove everything. He just needs to guide attention, keep people looking, keep the conversation active. And right now, everyone is looking. If you're following this so far, you already see where this is going. Because this isn't just about one statement, it's about momentum. And momentum usually means something is building. So if this is just noise, why does it feel so structured? Because when attention, timing, and tension align like this, it usually points to something deeper. Not something fully revealed, something still unfolding. And the real question isn't what's already been said, it's what hasn't surfaced yet.